Good evening and welcome to Just For You. Are you ready for the upcoming concert announcements? Good. Coming to the Cow Palace is Bon Jovi on January 24th. The concert begins at 8 o'clock and tickets are $16.50 in advance. At the Henry J. Kaiser Convention Center are two great concerts. On January 27th is Alice Cooper, starting at 8, and the price is $15.50. And on January 30th is the wonderfully crazy Cyndi Lauper. Tickets will be $15.50 and it also begins at 8 o'clock. At the Oakland Coliseum at 8 o'clock on January 31st is Triumph. These tickets are also $15.50. Now it's time to put on your thinking caps because I have some trivia questions for you. Ready? First, what part of your body will grow another half an inch by the time you are 75? Got it? Okay, next. What distinguished the Greek physician Hippocrates from the other healers of his time? Got the answers yet? Well, I'll be back at the end of the show to give you the answers. So kick back and enjoy the show.
What do the movies Trading Places, 48 Hours, and Beverly Hills Cop have in common? Well, I'll give you a few seconds to let that sink in. Okay, it's Eddie Murphy, and if you've seen any of his movies, you know what a funny comedian this guy is. But he's even funnier in his new movie, The Golden Child. In The Golden Child, Eddie Murphy plays a social worker who has a special talent for finding kidnapped children. One day, a mysterious woman approaches him with a new case. Now, Eddie has had his share of weird cases, but he's never heard one as weird as this one. As she says, according to ancient Tibet, that once every 1,000 generations, a perfect child is born, a golden child. And he is born with magical powers to save the world. And these people keep telling him, now that the child is kidnapped, that he and only he can save this perfect child. Now, Eddie thinks they're off their rockers, and I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, if one day some lady came up to you and said, yeah, a perfect child is born, and only you can save it, I mean, you're gonna think either she's stoned or that she's insane, right? Well, later on, Eddie does realize how dead serious these people are. And he agrees to go to Tibet, where he finds himself in a religious, I don't know what it was. But anyways, here's a clip.
We have come to ask for the sacred cross dagger of Ajanti.
For what reason?
For the golden child.
Let him ask it. I said, I want the knife. Let him ask again. I want the knife. Please.
This movie is so hilarious. I mean, my stomach was hurting so bad after seeing this movie. And like, they had some total great special effects, like a mouse turning into a demon, or a Pepsi can dancing all around the room. Now that was so cute. And the way they created hell with all the fire and flames, it looks so realistic. And if you're planning on seeing a movie that's worth your money, and if it's not, right, well, go see The Golden Child. Thank you.
He's one of the most famous singers in the world. He started out with the name Ziggy Stardust and then went into being a woman. And then when he came back after his sex change, he was one of the world's most famous sex symbols, David Bowie. The man never stops. He never ceases to amaze me. He's always going. Most singers normally die out in their careers from 5 to 10 years. Well, David's career's been going since the early 70s. And I started listening to Bowie's music when I was about 8 years old, and since then I've always liked his music, and I've grown to like his style. Most people I know do like Bowie's music because it's just easy to listen to. And you really don't have to, no matter what kind of music you can usually like Bowie's because it's just easy going. And the album I'm reviewing is Tonight, and the album has on the songs on it, Blue Jean, Neighborhood Threat, and Tonight. And I think it's a really great album, and I like his style, and I think he shows great talent. And I came across 4 other reviews from other national magazines. And the first one is from Cream. They say Bowie has a fine album. Next one, Smash Hits. It's an uneasy bumper-to-bumper mixture of styles. And NME says, as Bowie approaches 40, his relaxing into music seems to possess its own personal skin. I don't really understand that one. And 4, Record Mirror says, by Bowie standards, this album stinks. But I don't think this really is Bowie's best album, but I definitely don't think it stinks. And for a man who just turned 40, he's got everything it takes to be at the top.
Have you ever hitchhiked or picked up a hitchhiker? Oh, now be honest. You're driving through East Oakland and your car breaks down, so you decide to hitch a ride with some black pimp. This is especially safe for the girls. Or you're driving through the desert in the pouring rain and happen to see some poor degenerate psycho limping down the side of the road with an automatic rifle in his hands. So you decide to stop and give the poor guy a lift. After all, that rifle must be heavy, right? You say this has never happened to you? Well, believe me, it happens, especially to people in the movies. C. Thomas Howell was simply driving someone's car across the country for a few extra bucks in the 1985 thriller The Hitcher. When driving through the Arizona desert in, of course, a terrible rainstorm, Howell encounters a poor guy walking down the empty highway. Only he didn't have an automatic rifle in his hands. He has a .38 caliber hidden in his jacket. Oh well, in that case, give the guy a ride. So Howell stops, rolls down the window, and asks, hey bud, you need a ride? Now of course this guy needs a ride, or there wouldn't be any plot. Anyway, the psychopath gets in the car, and they're off.
Pick up the gun! Put it in my face. Right there. That's good. You know what to do. Now do it. Squeeze the trigger. She'll die. You useless waste.
Well, that was Howell's girlfriend. From the first time he saw The Hitcher, his life became a living hell. I'd say the movie was pretty good if you want a scary and ultimately disgusting movie. It scared the living daylights out of me, and in a few parts, I really thought I was going to vomit. So for you idiots who pick up hitchhikers in the middle of the desert, watch The Hitcher. I'll guarantee you'll never do it again. Have a killer evening.
Hi there, it's Gwen.
And it's Laura.
And you'll never guess what happened.
Gwen's not here.
To here? Gwen's not here.
Gwen's
the
not
reason Gwen's isn't here because yesterday was Thursday and we usually shoot on Thursday, but today's Friday and yesterday.
But the electricity went out.
Yes, yeah, big electricity storm. And
But
so,
I guess it would be last week to you because we shoot this a week in advance.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's why she's not here. So she's in Cuesta. So I hope she's having fun. And anyways.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi, Gwen. Mwah. Well, anyways, since she's not here, we really couldn't do letters. You know.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be fair to her.
But what are we gonna do?
Well, we could do news.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can't do news.
We don't know that much. What's going on?
That's why we're not doing news anymore. We're doing letters.
What about sports?
Oh,
we could do sports.
But yeah, last time we did that, and we told about how Joe, what's his name? Joe Montana made like 2 home runs and like an ending, and
they didn't like that too much.
Well, I know what we can do.
What
should we do?
That's a great idea. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna teach you some poetry by Shakespeare.
Okay.
127.
127.
Sonnet.
17th.
Yes. Mary had a little lamb,
whose fleece was white as snow.
And everywhere that Mary went,
her lamb was sure to go. Beautiful.
That's so pretty. Well,
what
else can we do? Oh, we can teach you our secret talk.
You think we should?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, here it is. A, B, C.
D, E, F.
G, H, I.
J, K,
L, M, N, O, P. Q, R, S.
T, U, V.
go to sleep. So
Yeah. Have a great week, and
we'll see you next
later.
week. Bye.
If you've been keeping up with the new shows this season, then you may have had the unfortunate chance to see Gungho. This is a TV series which is a takeoff of a movie comedy about a failing U.S. auto manufacturing company that gets a few tips from visiting Japanese auto workers. Needless to say, this movie is a lot better than its sister TV series, which is a virtual video nightmare of lame jokes and bad visual scenery. It has none of the original humor that the movie contained. Even though some of the actors are the same, the one consistent thing about the two is the pidgin English spoken by the Japanese, which becomes tiring and very annoying after a while. In the episode I saw, Hunt, who is the head employee relations between the two nationalities, believes that he's fallen in love with the girl who is really not ready for commitment. That's it. That sums up the whole plot for an entire half an hour. Even my brother could think of a better plot than that. In the scene that you are about to see, there is a typical exchange between Hunt and his girlfriend and a chintzy Japanese manager.
Who is she and why was she using that phone?
Hello. Tonight I'm going to talk about an issue that some very few Monte Vistans are aware of, and some who are greatly affected, including myself. I'm talking about the newly proclaimed smoking law. This law states that all high schools must close their smoking sections if they have one. If I'm correct, Monte Vista's had theirs since it's been in existence, so why change things now? Maybe some of you don't understand the importance to this new law. I'm generally speaking to the politicians and non-smokers who helped pass this law. I'll admit it is better for our health, but on the first day, I was affected by this law. I felt a large sense of anxiety and frustration. Imagine, if you will, you can't breathe for 5 minutes or so. Your body needs oxygen, yet a smoker's body needs nicotine just as well. What about the physical effects? Not to the body, but to the environment. Kids will be cutting class, smoking in the bathrooms, and also getting busted. I think I'm speaking on behalf of the administrators also. One of them told me that this new law is going to take time away from the normal duties, like doing more potty patrol. Now, what about the psychological effects? People, as well as myself, will feel very strenuous and frustrated. I believe that any psychologist could tell you that if a frustrated person gets into a small argument with his or her friend, that it's going to end up in something like a fight. This is where it will affect the whole state. Maybe not all of you are aware of the fact that the school gets money for students being in class. That's why the administration is so tough on the subject. Furthermore, if kids are cutting class to have their cigarettes, then money is taken away from the schools, which leads to poor education, laid-off teachers, and finally higher taxes. Now, for all you politicians and anti-smokers, I hope you are proud to know that you have just potentially screwed up the education of the state of California.
And now from Danville, it's the evening stretch with Chris and Spencer.
So boring. I cannot handle it anymore. But anyways, good evening. I'm Chris Kale.
And I'm Spencer Hansen, and welcome to an original edition of the Evening Stretch.
Yeah, well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we want to show you, focus this for the beginning part for the people out there who are beginning to drive and for the people who might not know their international hand language of driving. So we're going to start off and tell them about the first sign, which is the international sign of disrespect. Spencer, you want to show them that?
Okay, well, this is called the bird, and this is used when people are cutting in front of you while you're driving, and you don't like it.
You don't like it at all. You're
and
mad
so
at them.
You start out by taking your hands off the wheel, honking the horn, and just the middle finger in it. It's the bird.
It's the bird.
The bird.
Okay, the next one is a sign of thank you to people. Now, can this say you're pulling in front of somebody, and you want to say thanks to him because he let you in. Right. So what you want to do is just kind of go, casually.
Kind of.
And that's what they're going to see. So they're going to see this.
They're going to see this, kind of.
Like, thanks. Like, thank you.
Okay. And that's thank you. So don't give anyone the bird when you see,
Right. Now, if you're in front of them and you want to say you're welcome to you, and you're behind them and you want to say you're welcome, what you want to do is just take your left hand, roll in your window.
Left hand, and just kind of.
It's like,
thanks, buddy.
Thanks for the you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, well, we better get back to our show. We're going to get deep into the problem that many of you boys out there might face.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to show you the process of how professionals pick up on chicks.
That's right. Well, that must be me, Chris. So why don't you just act as a normal woman would, and I'll pick up on you, babe. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now you want to picture us at a singles bar. Yeah, okay. Now, firstly, you got to loosen up, you know, and you want to make yourself known to the prospect. So just, you know, like, hey, bartender, give me a light, you know? It's like, no.
That's Bud Light's friends.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
so old. Like
Well.
Grandpa P's Rust. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And secondly, you want to initiate conversation.
Right.
With the woman.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just start talking to her. Hey, babe. I don't want this to sound like a line, but
Oh, I won't take it as a line.
could I ask you what your sign is?
Well,
And when she tells you, just tell her that yours is the same.
my sign is Leo.
Mine just happens to be Leo too.
Gosh darn it.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, sure is.
Now you're ready to make a big move.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, why don't we just mosey on back to my place for some late night exercise?
Well,
we'll see you next week on the stretch. You know, where all the action is.
Hi, welcome to the interview segment of our show. Today with us we have Andy McNutt, an ex-Rainbow Studios talent. Today we're going to look to see what exactly happens to Rainbow Studios people. Andy, what are you doing right now?
I'm at an interview.
No, Andy, in your life, where are you at this stage?
In my life, I'm at a high physical and emotional stage in college at San Diego State University down in San Diego. You may be familiar with it.
Uh-huh. And do you like what you're doing?
I enjoy it very much. I think it's a big step up from college. Yes, I mean college.
From high school?
Yes, from high school, yes, that's it.
Do you have any future goals?
Yeah, I plan to graduate from college and procure a nice job in a possibly a high-paying communications firm.
I see. So it looks like you're not doing too bad as a Rainbow Studios ex-member.
No, I think I've fared rather well out there in the real world of cutthroat college students.
And your brother was also on Rainbow Studios. How's he doing?
Right now he's doing pretty good. He's also at a college.
Okay, that's good. We've got to go to an interview now, or to a commercial now, so one last question, Andy. If you could give any advice to Rainbow Studios people now, what would it be?
Go to class.
Go to class.
Do what you're supposed to do and try to get a good grade.
Thanks, Andy.
It's a short interview. Yeah. Probably because I
Cut.
charged by the minute.
You too can learn to dunk like the pros. Lewis here is trying to dunk, but as you can see, he's too short and too white to do so. But we have the cure for his white man's disease. These little beauties will do the trick. The Dunk Master Pill. Let's see Lewis dunk now. Dunk, Lewis, dunk. Let's see one in slow motion. You can pick these little gems up at any street corner for only $29.99. And you too can be dunking like this in no time at all.
Howdy, folks. My name's Kay.
My name's Jay, and together they spell KJ. Welcome to the news. In the top of the news tonight, there's been a remarkable discovery in the world of vegetables. It has now been proven scientifically that this vegetable is for real, and that it is called the tomadion. The inventor of this voyager in the vegetable world is Denise Kimball, who is seen here smiling towards France. To you, Kay.
Thank you, Jay. In the news tonight, been a major controversy in Monte Vista High School. Every year, the anti-drug groups have Don't Smoke Weeks and makes bushels of stickers and signs to publicize it.
Yeah.
One worker at Monte Vista, Bob the janitor, is caught red-handed smoking a doobie. And the club found out about this, and they wished they had him fired, so Bob went for revenge. He opened the doors of the anti-drug room.
What's your name?
Quit flirting with my woman.
Chris. Hey.
Anyway, as I said, he went back for revenge. He opened the doors, and let the anti-drug group in to sabotage the anti-drug room. Their club was otherwise known as the Lowers Longhairs. Anyway, they put buckets of manure over the doors to fall on the bookworms when they walked in. Bob was faced with charges and 21 felonies. If he's convicted, he's going to face 20 years in Harlem.
Hey, Harlem.
Honey.
Remember Harlem?
Hey, man, I remember Harlem well. That's my hometown. Hey. Anyway, to you, Jay.
In other news, tonight, the Ford Motor Company has just released its solution to the problem that they've been having with their car lifts. Cool. The solution is seen here. An 80-foot tall man named Paul Abdul Jemima King Jr.
Hey. Hey, man.
A former basketball player for the Boston Celtics who was cut earlier this year because of a knee injury. The way that he is used is by holding up the car so the mechanics can work on him. That's the news for tonight.
My name is Kate.
And I'm Jay, and together they spell KJ.
Hi, I'm back, and I have the answers to the trivia questions. Have you been thinking about them? The first question was, what part of your body will grow another ½ an inch before the time that you reach the age of 75? Well, if you really think about it, and you don't use those dirty minds of yours, you'll understand that it's your nose. Yes, your nose will grow another ½ an inch by the time you're 75. The next one was, what distinguished the Greek physician Hippocrates from the other healers of his time? The answer? He was the first to insist that diseases came not from evil spirits, but from natural causes. Thank you to L.M. Boyd for those pieces of trivia. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you here again next week on Just For You.